Okay, today we're going to talk about parallel lines. We're going to start just by talking about lines. So I'm going to draw two lines that maybe aren't parallel. I can cross through them with a third line. This line right here, this black line in this case, is called a transversal. Okay, a transversal is a word you're going to need to know. Okay, and all a transversal is a line that intersects two others. So a line that intersects two others. If you notice, when this happens, we get 8 angles. I'm going to label them 1 through 8. Okay, so there's 8 angles. Right? The red lines could be parallel, but they don't have to be. They certainly aren't in this case. Okay, so now when I look at these lines, we're going to get some vocabulary words for how to relate these angles. Okay, so the first kind of angles we have are angles like 1 and 5 or 4 and 8, okay, 3 and 7, and then finally 2 and 6. Notice those 4 pairs. Okay, these angles are called corresponding angles. And if you notice, if you look at sort of each intersection, so if I look at this intersection, right, angle 1 is up and to the left, and angle 5 is up and to the left, so they're corresponding. Angle 4 is down and to the right, angle 8 is down and to the right. Corresponding angles come in pairs. That is essential for you to understand. Okay, so we had corresponding angles. Now we can also have something called alternate interior angles. These happen to be 3 and 6 and 5 and 4. Okay, these are called alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Okay, the key to these is that if you look at the transversal, they're on alternate sides. So 3 and 6 are alternate, 4 and 5 are alternate. The other key to this whole thing is that they are interior, inside, in between the lines, the red lines. Okay? We also have, and I can redraw the lines here, if I have my two lines, something called, let me get a transversal, sorry. Okay, we have something called alternate exterior angles. Take a second, guess what you think the alternate exterior angles might be. Okay, alternate exterior angles. Okay, they would be in this case, right, 1 and 8 and 2 and 7. 1 and 8 and 2 and 7, right? Alternate, opposite sides of the transversal. Exterior, outside the lines, the red lines, outside. Okay, and last but not least, one other set of words, okay, a set of angles. So here are my lines, and then here's my transversal, and here are all my angles. Now, there's lots of other combinations we could have, but the only other combination that we talk about are ones called, are ones called same side interior. Take a guess what same side interior angles would be. They would be 4 and 6, and they would be 3 and 5, right? Again, same side of the transversal, but still interior between the two red lines. Okay, now we're going to deal with just parallel lines. So this picture right here that has two lines that are parallel, here they are, parallel lines, and a transversal, and we're going to label the angles 9 through 16. This picture really does need to be in your notes. So pause this for a second, get this down in your notes exactly like this, same numbers, so we can all talk about the same thing. Okay, now that you've got that written down, I want to show you one other thing in notation. Because sometimes our lines don't look perfectly parallel, we're going to draw in these this little arrow like this. Okay? This means lines are parallel. That's how it's denoted in the book. Sometimes it might have a double arrow and then a double arrow. Okay, so those two lines that have the two red arrows, they are always going to be parallel. That's what those red arrows mean. Okay. Now, you're going to use this picture, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions on the next page. Okay, using the picture that you drew, can you answer these 4 questions? These are 4 questions that I'm going to be looking for in class.